Hello everyone, assalamu alaikum dear friends. Today will be the class number 6 of Microsoft Excel batch number 2. So in today's class we are going to learn about the formulas and functions. Before I start today's class, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed, and also hit the bell button so that you can easily find the notifications whenever I add a new video, upload a new video. You will get a notification, and watch this video from starting to the end so that you will not miss any important part of this video. Thank you. So without wasting your time, I am going to start the today's session, and I have divided today's session into two parts, and today will be the first session of the formulas and functions, and the next function I have also created a next class and divided this class into two so that you may easily cover and you will not miss the important things, or the class will not be bored. So it will be actually the part number 1 of class number 6, part number 1 of formulas and functions, class number 6. So it may be 2 or 3 parts of this class. So we are discussing about the formulas and functions. So I have created the content before you. And what is a formula? We have knowledge about what is a formula and what is a function, and there is something different between the formula as well as a function. So in order to differentiate, we must know about what is a formula and what is a function. So a formula is an equation that is designed by a user in Excel, whereas a function is a predefined calculation in the spreadsheet application. And here is the example of a formula. When a user types an equal sign in a cell, they are starting to create a formula. Examples of our formula include equals to, for example, equals to 4 plus 3, and equals to this the reference of one row plus the reference of another row, and just like this, b7 plus b8 minus 4 multiplied by 2 plus 1. This is the example of a formula. And what is a function? These are the examples of a function. For example, the sum function, the average function, and the NPV function. So we will cover some of the most common functions today, and I have created a functions category window for you, and all types of functions which are currently available in the Excel. Most important of these functions we will cover, not today but after 1 or 2 classes within. So firstly we will discuss about the function categories, and we have these categories of the functions, 14 different categories, and these are actually the categories, and each category has many different functions. And we know about the function. What is a function? A function is a predefined calculation in the spreadsheet application. So each function is used for a specific calculation, and formula we have discussed. For example, this is a formula. Formula is what is a formula? An equation designed by a user in Excel. It is an equation, not other than this. So there are these 14 types of categories of functions that are available in Excel. The first category is compatibility functions, and in Excel 2010 or later, the functions listed in this category were replaced with a new function that provide improved accuracy and have names that reflect their usage better. These were actually the available functions which were used in the previous versions of Excel before 2010, and you will find these functions in if you are using 2007, you will find these functions in the statistical or math and trigonometry categories on the formulas tab. Why we use these functions are actually included in the 2010 or later versions of Excel, because these functions are replaced with the new functions, and if we want to use those these old functions, then these are actually actually compatible with the new versions of Excel. So that's why these functions are now come under the compatibility functions category. Number 2, Q functions. So we have not found the enough definition for the Q functions. That's why it is not defined. It is actually a part of it is a part of algebraic functions. And now we have database functions. We have database functions, number 3. And what is the working of the database functions? The Excel database functions work with an Excel database. This typically works of a large table of data, where each row in the table stores an individual record. Each column in the worksheet table stores a different field for each record. The database functions performs basic operations such as sum, average, count, and additionally use criteria arguments that allow you to perform the calculation only for a specified subset of the records in your database. Other records in the database are ignored. So actually they use the database functions use the criteria arguments, so that they allow you to perform calculations for a specific subset of the records in our database. That is the main reason why you use the database functions. Now we have date and time functions. Just the name suggests, the Excel date and time functions can be used to extract information from and operations on Excel dates and times. Some of the Excel date and time functions are new to Excel 2010 or Excel 2013, so they are not available in earlier versions of Excel. You can find this information in the applicability section of the function. After date and time functions, we have engineering functions. The engineering functions perform the most commonly used engineering calculations, many of which relate to Bessel functions, complex numbers, or converting between different bases. After that, we have financial functions. As the name suggests, it is already understood that they are used for financial calculations. The number 7, we have information functions. Information functions in Excel are used to get information about the worksheets and its contents, just like the current raw number, whether a cell has an error, the type of value a cell has, etc. Here is a list of most frequently used information formulas in Excel. These are included in information functions. Logical functions. After that, we have logical functions. Excel logical functions evaluate whether the statement and the data are considered true or false according to how the formula is established. So they tell us whether the condition is true or false according to the formula is established. So they apply logic to confirm whether it is true or false and do the operation. Now we have in the number 9, we have lookup and reference functions. And what is the use of these lookup and reference functions, and what are these? Lookup and reference functions are the most often used formulas in Excel, along with logical functions. Every Excel professional must know formulas. These are in this category of functions. You will learn formulas like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index, match, choose, and lookup functions. Reference functions like column, indirect, replace, transpose, hyperlink, and offset are also covered in this blog. On top these built-in functions, we can also learn practical examples like how to match data in Excel and mixed reference in Excel. So this is the use of lookup and reference functions. Number 10. Math and trigonometry functions. The Excel math and trigonometry functions perform many of the common mathematical calculations, including basic arithmetic, conditional sums and products, exponents and logarithms, and the trigonometric ratios. Some more math-related functions are also discussed in the statistical functions and engineering functions categories. Now we have statistical functions. Excel provides an extensive range of statistical functions that perform calculations from basic mean, median, and mode to the more complex statistical distribution and probability tasks. The Excel statistical functions are all listed in the tables below, grouped into categories to help you to easily find the functions you need. Selecting a function name will take you to a full description of the function with examples of use and advice on common errors. Note that some of the statistical functions were used in recent versions of Excel, so are not available in earlier versions. Excel text functions will help you clean and tidy up your text data, as well as let you extract parts of text in a cell or even combine text from multiple cells together, among other things. So these are the text functions. So these are text functions. What they do, they actually help you to clean and tidy up your text data, as well as you extract parts of text in a cell or even combine text from multiple cells together, among other things. User defined functions that are installed with add-ins. These are number 13, and number 14, web functions. So these are the 4 categories of functions. I will repeat again. Number 1, compatibility functions. Number 2, queue functions. Number 3, database functions. Number 4, date and time functions. Number 5, we have engineering functions. Number 6, financial functions. Number 7, information functions. Number 8, logical functions. Number 9, lookup and reference functions. Number 10, math and trigonometric functions. Number 11, statistical functions. Number 12, text functions. Number 13, user defined functions that are installed with add-ins. Number 14, web functions. Now we will start with the database functions, and these are the 12 database functions which we will cover today. And I already made a worksheet for practice of database functions, and these are the 12 database functions: the average, the count A, the get, the max, the min, the product, the stdef, the stdef-p, the sum, the var, the var-p. So we will start from the first function, the average. It returns the average of the selected database criteria. And the count, it counts the cells that contain numbers in a database. The count A, it counts non-blank cells in a database. We have the get. It extracts from a database a single record that matches the specified criteria. We have the max. It returns the maximum value from selected database entries. And the min, it returns the minimum value from selected database entry. We have the product. It multiplies the values in a particular field of records that match the criteria in a database. The stdef estimates the standard deviation based on a sample of selected database entries. stdef-p, it calculates the standard deviation based on the entire population of selected database entries. The sum, it adds the numbers in the field column of records in the database that match the criteria. The var, it estimates variance based on a sample from selected database entries. The var-p, it calculates variance based on the entire population of selected database entries. Now we have this worksheet. I have created this worksheet from the sample data set, and this I have set this criteria. I copied these headings here, and I created a criteria, and I want from this table, this complete database, I want the sales of only the sales rep Jones, and the item which I want only pencils. So actually I want to know about all the data of Jones representative related to the pencils. So I want to get the average quantity, sold of pencils by Jones. So for example, so I have used this formula. How I create this formula? I use the average equals to the average, and after that I selected this complete entire database from here to there, and you can see over here that this database is now selected. After that I want to get column number 5, quantity is in column number 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and after that I want to check this in the criteria, match with this criteria. So this is the criteria table. So it will find, Excel will find this in the criteria, and whichever I will write it here, Excel will apply the formula with this criteria. So Excel checked that Jones sales of pencils, average sales of pencils is 65, and it's the number of counts of its pencil sales is 2. So let us check that whether it is showing us the correct data or not. So I want to count the Jones, the sales of pencils by Jones. So it is first time, and it is second time. After that it is not available, so it is actually showing us the true. And the count A also counts the blank cells, no numeric values. And D max also does this. It as the name suggests, it only count the max values. It only sum the maximum quantity. It only sums the maximum quantity. It only shows us the maximum quantity, sorry, not sums. D max is for showing the maximum, the quantity which has the maximum, recorded quantity. So this is here 95 is the maximum quantity sold at each time, and D min, so the minimum quantity sold during this period, any period of Jones, the pencils sold, minimum quantity by Jones is 35. So let us check that whether 35 is available here or not. Yes, we can see that 35 is the minimum quantity. And we have some product just does the same thing, and it multiplies. And we have STDFP, it does the same. A standard deviation P. D sum actually sums the quantity. So we have 95 plus 35, so it is 130 pencils are sold by Jones. So after that we have D over P. and we have also after use this dvar and after that dvar-p. So the same way, just like we use this criteria for calculation with this raw quantity, just like we only change this the column number in this formula, the unit cost number 6, raw number, column number 6, all these things are the same. And in the next total, I again use this the average, because this complete table tells us each of these these functions with firstly the quantity column, secondly the unit cost column, thirdly the total column. So I will only change this with the column number. It is column number 7, so I use this over here. So in this way we can use the database functions. So as you can see that if I change any of the things over here, for example I want cable sales of anything, any item, or for example binder, any item, so it will show me the complete details of cable. Or suppose if I want to get the sales of pencils, all pencils either sold by anyone, or for example, so the data will change accordingly. For example, if I want to get the sum of the sales in only 1/6/2020, you can see over here that this is now showing over here. Or I want to get the sale of only central, so you can see over here that we are now getting the sales of central. So you can see over here that the data, as our criteria changes, the data changes itself by matching itself. So I hope that you have understand about these the database functions clearly, and when you will practice this, then hopefully you will better understand these. So after database functions, we have now date and time functions, and these are the list of date and time functions, and these are used for the calculation or related to the date and time. So firstly we have the date function, and what does the date function does? It combines the days, months and year to form a complete date. So we have written over here in the year column the year and the number of year, and the number of months, the number of days. So it joined these three to make a complete year. So its format is basically simple, which formula is simple, equals to date, and then only give a reference. For example, select this, after that comma, after that select this, then select this. So it created a complete date. After that we have created a days function, and date start date day 1. So days function, what it does, it tells you about the information, what about which thing, the number of days between a start date and a end date, start date and the end date. So it gives you the number of days between the start date and the end date. So this is the way you can create this function, equals to days, and after that we have end date and then comma, then start date. So there is one day only in this date, and 178 days in this date, and 30 days. You can see where it is 6 month, it is 7th month. Now we have discussed the days function, and now we will use the days 360 function. Days 360 functions actually uses the 360 days here. Each month will be of 30 days, so it will count this. The airplane is flying, that's why this sound is coming. Days 360 function. So you can see over here that there is only one day difference in this 360 days here. It is 18th date of August, and it is 19th date of August. You can see over here that easily. Now after that we have e-date. What does e-date does? The e-date tells you it adds or it lesses, it subtracts the number of months which are required to be calculated, which are required to be added in this day start date. Either you can go forward, either you can go backward, and then the number of months specified will be either added or either less. If you add if you write over here minus, then it will less the number of months. For example, 31st January 2016, and I want to go backward 1 month, then it will show me that 31st December 2015. So in this way we use e-date. And what is EO month? How we use it? EO month, as the name suggests, it is end of month. So if we have a date of starting of the month and we want to see the end date of the month, then how can we see this? We use a E equals to EO month and then bracket, and after that start date and then number of months. So I want the ending date of the upcoming 5 months. So it will show me the next 5 months, the last date of the next 5th months ago, 5 months forward, 5 months forward. So it will show me 30 June, Feb, March, April, May and June, just like this. So we have discussed the date functions. Now it's turn to the time functions. So this is the time written 8:10 a.m. and I want to separate the hours from this time. I want to separate the hours from this time. How can I do this? I will just write this equals to hour and then select this time. So it separated the hours, number of hours. I want to separate the number of minutes in this from a date, from a time. So how can I do this? Equals to minute bracket and then the reference of the time, then it will separate the minutes from this date, just like this formula is written over here. So this is the easiest method to separate the date, to separate the hours, or to separate the minutes from a date. Suppose if I want to get what time and date is now, then how can I see this? Equals to now. This formula equals to now shows you the current date and time. And second is, if I want to separate the number of seconds from a date, then how can you do this? You can do this by equals to now. Now we have checked the time from now, and then to separate seconds from a date or from a time, we use the second formula, equals to second and the cell reference, that is column K and row number 23. Now we are using the time. Just like we created the date from year, month and date, we can also create time by hour, by joining or concatenating hour, minute and second. So we create this time by using this formula, equals to time and then hour, comma, minute, comma, second. So in this way you can easily create a time formula, equals to time, hour, minute and second, hour, minute, second, hour, minute, second. So in this way we can use the time function. One thing I think so that I forgot to tell you, but I will definitely tell you that if you want to use today, if you want to know what day is today, so we will use equals to today, so it will show you the date of today. Now we have some more functions, logical functions, but it will be the part of the next class, and then math functions, statistical functions. But today we want to cover after the date and time functions, we want to cover the text functions. So the important text functions, I have created a sheet for you, and in this sheet I will use these text functions. I have this data, the first name, the middle name and the last name of myself, Arsalan, Jamal and Akhtar. My father name is Jamal Akhtar and the middle name I created is Jamal and the last name is Akhtar. Now I want to use these functions, text functions, and these text functions are used to make our text tidy and clean. So I will use these. So if the first function is clean function equals to clean and then bracket open, then reference of this cell. So because it did not contain any artifacts, so that's why it is not showing, it is showing me the same as in the previous row. And then we want to use the code function, and after that we have the code function. So the code function gives us its code. You can see over here that, and we only give the reference, and I give reference of E4, so it converted this text to a code. Now after that we have the concatenate function. The concatenate functions actually joins the one or two or three or multiple number of words from different cells, and then it creates a new text. So I have my complete name here, Salan Jamal Akhtar, and concatenated the first name, middle name and the last name, so to create my full name. So I use this concatenate and the reference of first cell, and then I want a space, that's why I use these two, and after that these two quotation. After that we use this reference. After that with double quotation, then after that we use this reference. And suppose if I have some data and I want to create, if I want to insert a currency sign, for example dollar, I want dollar sign with a number, I can add this by them by using the dollar formula. And suppose if I want to check whether one name is equal to another name, then I can check this by using the exact formula. So it checks that whether one value or one name is, one string is equal to, exactly equal to. So it also checks for the case, either it is lower than the second number, then the second value should also be lowercase. If it is capital or proper, or capital or upper, then the second should also be in capital or upper. In any case, if there is contradiction, then it will show you the false value. And the fixed, after that we have the fixed function. And what does the fixed functions does? It actually rounded off the number up to, for example, 0 decimal. I want to 2 decimals. I want to get 1 decimal. I want to get 8 decimals. I want to get 0 decimals. So it is up to me that how much places of decimal I want with this number. So this is also a method of cleaning or text. Now we have, suppose we have this data and I want to get the first five alphabets from this name. So from the left, ARSAL. If I want to get the first 5 alphabets, then I will use equals to left. From the left, I will use equals to left, and then the reference. After that I will add the number of characters which I want to extract. Then I will write this, and suppose if I want to get the length of a variable, length of a word, then equals to length, I will use this. So its length is 8 characters. It is 5 characters. It is 6 characters. You can see AKHTER. It is 6 characters. Now after length we have lower function. So it converts to the lower case, the upper to the lower case, and the lower lower to the lower case, upper to the lower case. And after that we have the mid function. The mid function actually extracts the number of letters from the mid of the text, not from the starting but from the mid of. For example, I want to extract letters from the third place and only 3 letters. So what will I get? I will get from S and 3 letters only, SAL. So you can see over here that only these 3 letters are now extracted, and from here 3 letters, from here 3 letters, and after that we have a proper function. And a proper function actually makes it in the sentence case. The first will be the capital, the second, after that all other alphabets will be the small. And now we have the wrapped function. If I want to repeat multiple times a single value or a text, then I will use this wrapped function, equals to wrapped, and then the reference, and then the number of times. For example, I applied it to here and it is showing me the number of times this text. I want 2 times, for example. I want 3 times, it will show me 3 times. I want 2 times, it is showing me 2 times. You will be seeing that there are some cells which are left blank. These are not important for you, so that's why I left them blank, not explaining to you. Now we have text function, and it converts value to the text. So because this value is already into the text, so that's why it does it. What does trim function do? The trim function actually removes the extra spaces from a text. For example, if I have a space and then a, and I use trim into it, equals to trim You can see over here that these useless spaces, extra spaces between the first A and the second A are now removed by using the trim. So trim helps us in cleaning the data. After that we have Unicode character, and we have Unicode character. These are the character encodings which you will learn in computer science. Self-explanatory. And the upper, it is we use the upper to in order to change them, to change the word to the upper case, Jamal and actor. And we have the value function. C6 to value, this to value, this to value. So these are the text functions. So I hope that today's class will be beneficial for you, and you have understand the basic concepts which are discussed today. Let's have a recap. Firstly, we have discussed about the what is a formula and what is a function, why use formulas and functions, and we have discussed about the categories of the functions which are available in the Excel. After that, we discussed about the database functions, and we practiced the database functions, and we use this criteria in order to understand it more deeply. And after that, we use the date and time functions, date function separately, time function separately. And after that, we have discussed about the text functions. We have learned the text functions. So in the next video we will learn some more important topics of Excel. So till then, take care of yourself and have a nice day. And also in some countries the evening or the night. So pray for me and share our cause and help us to spread our word, so that you can also contribute to us by sending this video to your friends, sharing it to your friends, and please watch this video, but not only by downloading, but try to watch this video within the YouTube. Okay, and also invite your friends to join us. And I hope that it is very clear to you that we are not charging anything, and we only expect you to help us and to change your career and to grow together and have a better world. So we will meet in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.